Good evening and welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Sunday the 21st of January 24.
Yes, good evening everyone and welcome. And we've got Liz with us tonight.
Yes, just for once, as long as the power and the internet hold out, yes.
Yeah, as you can tell everyone, Storm Isha is causing havoc across the west of the UK at the moment. Liz has been having some power outages where she is in the West Midlands. Same up here in the northeast as well. So really, it isn't all just the west. So yeah, up to you, Michael.
Now, where would you like to start off?
Radar, if you've got it.
Radar. Let me just get that up.
I've got it up here if...
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on.
We'll give Michael a night off for once.
Why is it not letting me share? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Michael?
You got that?
Yep, it's on the screen right now. I'll put it onto full screen.
Fantastic. So this is NetWeather TV Extra, the radar version 8. So this is current. There was a really heavy school band that was showing up earlier, but that seems to have disappeared slightly. If I just put the radar rain accumulation, you can see it's been quite heavy over North Wales and Northern Ireland by the looks of it. So I know there is already flooding in Wales. I've seen pictures of flooded roads, Staffordshire, Shropshire, Welsh borders already. So I know things haven't dried out since the last lot of rain, heavy rain we had with all the flooding earlier on in the year, and just before Christmas. It's all, and it looks like Central Belt of Scotland's getting hammered as well. If I bring it forward, it'll take a little time to load up, as it always does once it gets sorted out.
Yeah, I was just reading while that's loading. Cumbria, I was just saying to you guys on the group chat that Cumbria has just declared a major incident as well. So towards Lake District, Carlisle kind of way.
Yeah, around.
Further up towards
well,
the
I think all of this area, like from Liverpool all the way up through Lancashire, all the way across to all the way up there.
Yeah, anywhere west of the Pennines, really, is under a major incident, and the choo-choo trains aren't going past Wolverhampton either.
Well, they're not running London to Birmingham anymore either, so that's all been cancelled. There's an awful lot of train cancellations out there. There's trees down. I noticed there was a train evacuated at Longbridge, and they had to walk off because the tree came down. So there are trees coming down all over the place. This radar isn't loading, so we'll go back to present.
There we go.
This is current. So 5 to 8. Let me refresh that, see if it'll bring in the 8 o'clock. No, not yet.
No, not yet. Want me to laugh past? But yeah.
So you can see it's fairly British Isles wide, really. So I said earlier,
it's usually affecting one part of the country, but this time it's widespread.
Yes, which is why there's an amber. Well, there's a couple of amber warnings out for today overnight till I think it's lunchtime tomorrow. Certainly into the morning.
I think it's 12 o'clock, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's now. There we go.
Oh, now it's letting you go forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, everywhere beyond that, the rain is where the wind is currently. In and behind that.
this is the boundary of the front. So this is where Toro have issued there, and there's a nice swirl around there if you look at the wind gusts, which we'll do in a bit. But don't think there's any potential for a sting jet that I've noticed. But I don't think we need it on this one. I think it's fairly widespread. I think a sting jet would just absolutely wipe out. There we go. Look, there's potential. If there was a sting jet, it would be there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't look intense enough. But it does dissipate a little bit as it goes out into the North Sea, although the winds remain strong. So that's...
Yeah. It's only a prediction anyway, isn't it? So it's...
Yeah.
Well, we thought that thing would keep going, that squall, but it didn't.
Yeah, that died really quick because there were a few strikes on that, weren't there? I'll just play it forward, and you can see as it comes in. There was a bit of a squall intensified over southwest, Cornwall, Somerset, and then here we go. There it is. See, there's quite an intense line there that gave. I think it was only about 4 strikes in the end, according to Blitzortung. Right across the Isle of Man. I really don't fancy being on the Isle of Man tonight at all. They're going to get hammered. And then it just dissipates as it crosses the landmass.
Yeah. So I would imagine right now the West Coast and the Isle of Man, west of Scotland, and the Republic of Ireland are getting an absolute hammering. I've not looked at the net weather. We'll come to that in a minute. I've got the Toro forecast. I mean, there we go. So there's the current satellite.
Yeah, that's the infrared satellite. Obviously, the visual's not available because it's gone dark outside. But you can see that beautiful swirl of Storm Isha towards the northwest of the UK at this present time.
You see there's almost an eye forming in the over the west coast of Scotland. There's almost an eye. But they're forecasting up to 80 mile an hour, aren't they? So it's verging on hurricane strength.
Yeah. I'd say probably knocking on 90 maybe.
Certainly over the Cairngorms, I would have thought.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not quite so visible on that. The infrared of the IR is the clearest one, I think.
There's your radar and satellite imagery. Should be able to click into the UK from here. It's not exactly that great, is it? Really, that close up?
No.
But you can definitely see the centre of that low pressure system. I mean, it's a mean beastie.
It is.
She means business.
She does that. I'm just gonna get Toro ready.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, mate.
Feel free to leave any comments, guys. If there's any questions you want to ask us, feel free to ask us in the comments. If you're on Facebook, if you're not part of StreamYard, just make sure you put your name at the end. If you want to on YouTube, your username should appear at the end of the actually on the comment itself. So feel free to get a bunch of comments. And we'll bring you back to Paul.
Thank you very much. So yeah, this is the Toro convective discussion, severe weather forecast, whatever. We'll go and have a look at the convective discussion, and we'll come to the tornado thing. So the areas are affected are Wales, much of England, and the Channel Islands, with possible isolated tornadoes, wind gusts of 70 to 80 mile an hour, and hail forecast with this. saying powerful Atlantic storm named Isha by the Met Office will affect the Republic of Ireland and UK later on Sunday and overnight into Monday morning. A cold front will push northeast and east across all areas during this period. A tornado watch covers the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, parts of Scotland, and a small part of Northern England. And, for Liz, the Isle of Man.
Although it's not within the little square.
Yeah, we'll have a look
Not within the polygon.
No, we're in the polygon. It might be polygon by morning though.
What if he's trying to flow around?
Anyway, across the convective discussion area, the cold front will move through overnight into Monday morning. The main upper forcing will be mostly to the north and northwest of the area, but some upper forcing will still be present, and a short wave may cross the area overnight too. One or two
which was
broken
borne out. Sorry, that's borne out by the SQT as well. We'll have a look at those afterwards.
Yeah. One or two broken lines of rain may spread across the area, bringing the risk of strong wind gusts of 70 to 80 mile an hour, given the very strong 850 HPA flow, which Liz will show you on the skew in a bit. Additionally, one or two tornadoes are possible, especially with rotating structures within the QLCS. Overall, the risk seems lower than within the tornado watch, hence the issuance of a discussion. So we'll go back up to the top of here, and we'll go to said tornado watch, which the Isle of Man is within the polygon. So areas affected: Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, parts of Scotland, a small part of Northern England, which is going to be Cumbria, which I was just mentioning about Cumbria, and the maybe what's left of the Isle of Man. As Liz just said, he's going to get hammered tonight. He's going to get absolutely battered. So yeah, there's going to be tornadoes, wind gusts of 80 to 100 mile an hour. So that's knocking hurricane force winds.
That's hurricane force, yeah.
Yeah. Anything over 74, I think it is hurricane force. So it'll be above 12 easy.
Yeah.
Hail and windy.com. Sponsor us.
You should mention I put that up on the screen ready.
Yeah. Hail to 20 millimeter diameter, so 2 centimeter diameter. And,
which is pushing an inch for those who work in old money.
Yes, I won't say anything. I'll keep it family friendly.
Yep.
Out of ground lightning as well.
Is that a man's inch or a woman's inch?
Now, ladies.
Oh, sugar, sorry. Hang on. I'll just put you back on. Didn't mean to do that. There we go.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all fun and games. Anyway, a powerful Atlantic storm named Isha, blah, 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 which we were talking about on the other one. This will produce, hang on, across the tornado watch area, potent mid-level trough and speed max at 500 HPA level, mid-level jet max winds of 120 knots or thereabouts will overspread the frontal zone and introduce a powerful low-level jet in advance of the front. HPA 850 HPA flow of 90 knots or thereabouts. This will produce exceptionally low-level shear values across the area, especially across Northern Ireland, the Republic and Northern Ireland, e.g., 0 to 1 kilometre SRAH values of over 700 joules per kilogram. So that's the anyway, and 0 to 3 kilometre values of around 1,000 joules per kilogram. There will be also some modest instability, which with strong shear should augment, allowing the chance of rotating structures, including shallow supercells, to develop, as well as a broken line of convection inhibiting QLCS characteristics. In and close to the watch area, there's a risk of a few tornadoes, and the potent shear means a strong tornado is possible, especially across the Republic and Northern Ireland. Additionally, a very strong low-level flow will be mixed with the surf to the surface in stronger cores, bringing a risk of gusts of 70 to 80 mile an hour and perhaps 90 to 100 mile an hour in a few spots, even inland. Any supercell which may develop may produce hail, which could reach severe levels, and a few CG strikes are also possible, especially across the Republic and Northern Ireland, which we have seen earlier around this area here when we were just showing the net weather radar. So yeah, the convective discussion covers the remainder of Northern Ireland along with Wales. So yeah, this is the area Toro expect, and we pretty much expect the worst of the weather to be in. So North Lakes.
I'd add in across Snowdonia or around with.
I'd add this kind of corner,
yeah, looking at the Skew-T, there's an extra bit into the West Midlands. There's the Skew-T that's very meaty for across the West Midlands.
So we would say west of the Pennines, Peak District, and possibly into the West Midlands and across the mountains of Scotland and Wales. Sorry, not Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go on. Michael, I'm just sharing it back to Liz.
No worries. Back some news coming through from Scotland. This is from Sky News that rail services in Scotland have now been suspended. Morning rush hour trains will not run. So all passenger and freight services in Scotland have now been suspended because of Storm Isha. Network Rail Scotland have said. It has also warned that no rush hour services on Monday morning are going to run, potentially meaning severe disruption for commuters. Before trains can restart tomorrow, we need to inspect all routes for damage and fallen trees and debris. And warned that Monday will be a challenging day. And also reports that a train has actually hit a tree in Glasgow. So a train has hit a tree in Glasgow. Network Rail Scotland have said the service struck the tree at Cross Hill on the Cathcart Circle line. There are no injuries. However, the tree is stuck underneath the train. Network Rail Scotland said on X. Response teams are on the way to deal with the incident.
Yeah, I'm just having a look on BBC right now. If I share it back before we go to Liz. Oh, Liz is back.
Sorry, I've only got Liz on the screen now. Oh,
right, it's all right. I was just going to quickly share the BBC stuff, and then I'll come back to you, Liz, while we were just doing the news. So these at latest. So as Michael was just on about, am I on the screen now, Michael?
You are indeed,
yeah.
Are you?
Brilliant. So the last train has left Euston heading north, and it will only go to Wolverhampton, and it is standing room only, and it's only going to be 50 mile an hour along that track. There's a blanket 50 mile an hour speed restriction across the whole network.
That's if it makes up to Wolverhampton. Before you know, if it's that severe, Network Rail might actually close the line a bit further around the West Midlands area. So
I was going to say, from the gusts I'm experiencing at the moment, I mean, I've had a pushing 65 mile an hour gust already, and my odometer is actually anemometer, sorry, is sheltered by my house. So that's not a true max gust for the area. So I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't trees down all over the place around here. Yeah. So I'd be very surprised if they made it to Wolverhampton, to be honest.
I would as well.
Yeah.
I'd probably say they'd probably get as far as Rugby, maybe Coventry or Birmingham.
If that, to be honest.
If that,
they won't get into Birmingham because the Longbridge line is shut.
Oh, yeah. I think the Avanti ones come in from the east, come from Coventry, Rugby way.
Yeah, but they don't go into Birmingham. They go across to Wolverhampton.
Oh, yeah.
They don't.
They go through.
Yeah, they don't. No, you have to change at Wolverhampton to get into Birmingham. So yeah, it skirts across the bottom of Birmingham. So that's if they get to Stratford upon Avon Way, round Rugby, Stratford upon Avon Way, I'd be very surprised.
They could cut across. But anyway, let's they could go.
Anyway,
There's loads of different ways that could go around it, but it all depends on what network rail say. Anyway, hundreds of power cuts in Cumbria, in that red area that I was just showing you. Electricity Northwest saying are starting to feel the impact of Storm Isha. More than 700 homes are without power, many in Cumbria. The county has said it is already on alert to respond to a major incident. We'll keep you updated, blah, blah, blah. This is on bbc.co.uk if anyone's watching at the moment and wants to have a look afterwards. The Met Office said Storm Isha will affect everyone in the UK. Now we're starting to see it in the southwest. The damaged bridge has led to the cancellation of all Great Western Railway services between Exeter and Barnstable. Services from London, Paddington and Penzance are going slow, with the 50 mile an hour speed reduction in effect on the whole network. Devon Council says it's also receiving an increase of trees falling on roads. Power cuts are reported, with 700 properties near Padstow, the largest. There's also, I'll show you here, a tree that falls onto a car. CCTV shows a tree landing on a car near Loch Winnock in Renfrewshire as the high winds back to Scotland. In Guy Road 47 sent in the footage of his daughter's car, and thankfully no one was harmed. Do you want me to play it?
Give it a go.
Let's have a look. I don't know if you can hear the wind. See the tree there, look. I wouldn't like to be explaining that to the insurance company in the morning. Let me just refresh the page.
Phone calls.
Yeah,
and just give me an update as well. That's with that that train talk about the one that left Euston. Just looking on Tracksea, that train is actually just not far from Coventry now. It's actually running 45 and a half minutes late, but it's still running. That's the main thing.
Just pulled up the National Grid power cuts across the Midlands. So if you want to just really quickly show my screen.
Yeah, I was just going to show someone about more. Bring it over to Liz. Take it to Liz.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing. There we go. Take it to Liz. There we go. Power cuts.
So you can see right across the Midlands, South Wales. That's all southwest. So there's a few, and this is the bit around by me. This is the bit that's going in and out. Woodgate Valley, Hales Owen. There's a few dotted around there. Solihull's another one. I'm guessing it's trees down and shorts on transformers, but you can see that's the start of a long night, I think, for Network Rail.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm just reading the comments on there.
Yeah, so someone's put there in southeast Wales, and it's starting to ramp up here now.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. As that cold front pulls through, it's going to really keep
on there, windy.
Windy.com sponsors.
And let's see if that will load up. There we go. Oh, everything's slowing down on me. Everything's slowing down on me. Don't you dare.
I've got the max wind gusts up if you want to.
Oh yeah, I will transfer across. I'm going to take that off the screen because it seems to be not playing ball.
No. Yeah, in Chep Store.
So that's as of midday, and you can see it ramping up. This is the max gusts. So this is the maximum gusts, and you can see as we get. Oh, hang on, this is frozen up now. As it ramps up, you can see through the Irish Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. If I show you the wind gusts, You can actually see the front coming across where the black marks are. That's the line of the weather front, the low pressure coming through, and the curl on it. So 6 o'clock this evening, 9 o'clock.
So the worst of the winds will be in across probably north of Liverpool, like we were saying, up into the central belt.
And then you can see the poor Isle of Man.
Right in there.
Yeah, you can see the curl nicely.
Hmm.
Have you got windy working yet?
I've actually left it behind because I think it could be the signal as well.
Mm-hmm. Skew Liz?
Yeah. Should we look at the all the bulk shear and all that kind of stuff as well?
Let's get into that.
Start just break down the Toro stuff. So this is the storm relative helicity. So this is the spin in the storm itself. So you can see it's reasonably fast moving as it comes across this evening. It actually moves through quicker than the head of the front, and then there is a second line which is the low pressure system. So that's what the Toro was talking about, the shortwave coming after the main gusts at the low.
The low level jet was overshooting the low pressure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, the cold front. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is the bulk shear. So this is the low level jet. So this is at surface level. This is what gets the twist going. And this is reflected in the skew-T, which I'll show in a minute. So you can see there is a lot of bulk shear coming across with that low pressure. And you can see it goes straight across the centre of England. That matches. There is very, very little supercell composite. So they're not predicting supercells. There's a little bit over Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. But that's gone through. That was at 6 o'clock this evening, but there is nothing else on the charts at all. So if I just quickly switch to the skew-T, this is for midnight at the West Midlands. So you can see there's actually quite a lot of low-level jet there. Isn't it?
I think you tapped across.
There we
go. So you can see this is the mid-level. This is the surface level. So there is a little bit of shear there. This is the interesting wavy line, which gets the spin going once it gets going. So if you've got you've got a bunch of buildings which cause a vortex anyway, that's more likely to propagate higher up because you've got the mid-level shear. And if I just bring it up to Cumbria, which was within, again, you've got low level, really decent chunk of mid level, and then you've got a really good hodograph. There isn't quite as much mixing, but there's the chances there. And then up into Renfrewshire is again, you've got slightly less lower, but you've got the mid level and a wiggly hodograph, which is what you're looking at. I'm trying to put it into everyday terms rather than and again, the same in Aberdeenshire. So if I show you one that hasn't got it, London, very, very little low level.
That really to be wider apart.
Basically, for a tornado, you want a nice spread along the low level, the lines coming together, and then a big wide spread at the mid level. And there's always going to be on a big cyclical low pressure storm like we've got at the moment, there's always going to be a wiggly hodograph. What would really, like in the US storm chasing, is when this line crosses the vector line. That's when you really start looking at serious supercell tornado propagation. Again, Devon, you've got the mid-level, but you've got very little low level. And again, in the States, on a big high-risk day, you get these all facing over this way. And then they switch, and then they switch again. So you can see there is a little bit of shear, but very not nowhere near in the league of the US. What was the other one I'd got? Oh yeah, the jet stream, just to show this storm is riding on the jet stream. So I'll take it back to. I need to get rid of that. Lunchtime today, jet stream powering right across the UK. And the jet stream actually weakens as the low pressure goes across. And then we get another
blast,
which we'll go into later, and that's the Tuesday. So
Sharon's just asked, what are the chances of this in the Gwent area?
Tornadoes, very low, but high winds definitely. I'd guess 80 plus mile an hour.
Yeah, with that mid-level jet going straight across as well. With it
the Gwent area does tend to get quite a funneling effect. So most of Wales gets the funnel effect, especially if it comes up between Devon and Cornwall and the south coast of Ayr. You get a nice funnel effect which slams it into Wales, which this one is, and then it slams it into Wales. This one's actually getting funneled even further, which is why the Isle of Man's getting hammered. So, batten down the hatches, bring in your trampolines if you haven't already, and tie your wheelie bins down.
Especially if you live next to a railway line.
Yes.
Or a motorway or something like that. Keep an eye on your stuff, especially, like we say, in the west. Currently, I would say in the Midlands, like we were saying, 80-mile-an-hour winds are quite possible as that shortwave trough moves through. What next?
Sorry, I didn't realize. I've been saying a few bits the last couple of minutes. I realised I had my microphone on mute.
Well done, Michael.
Rookie error.
Yes.
And how long have we been doing this, Michael?
With StreamYard for about over a year now.
There we go. And we're doing it budget on the thingy anyway. But yeah, carry on, Michael. Go on.
I forgot what I was going to say a minute ago, which doesn't matter now. One thing I've started to notice on the latest radar, we've got this score lines just trying to develop up there across the west.
That might be that.
I think this actually started over towards the Northern Ireland. Obviously, the whole band's just got its act together. And I think this is going to turn more squally probably in the next hour or two.
It's sounding very squally here. It's every so often it's hitting my window, which faces southwest, my weather window, and it probably it goes for 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's quiet, and then the next minute it's battering the window. So it's definitely going quite squally.
So I think when this comes through, it's really going to turn nasty.
I was just going to say, it's organising just there to the south of Birmingham.
That's where I am.
I know where you are. But yeah, that's coming through towards Sedgley and Stourbridge and Dudley that way. That will become organised very quickly, I would imagine. I'm just having a look at it.
It's just updated.
Yeah, it's pretty much just going. I'm just getting into the edge of the, just coming out of the green into the yellow and orange in the next 5 minutes. I would imagine the next update I'll be in the yellow.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it on my side. It's coming very, very organised around. Well, as it's going over the Pennines, it's kind of getting forced.
It's getting the lift, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would imagine the other side, so probably Leeds out towards.
Oh, hello.
Doncaster, Rotherham, Solway, as it goes past the hills, that funneling effect, will get pushed over. I'm kind of looking
Have a look north of Edinburgh.
Yeah,
there is a very nice chord band on that.
Michael, if you could just drag that up towards Scotland, towards like the northeastern Scotland. There you go.
There's a little bit which is coring up.
It's got a bit of a hook in there. If you look towards where it is, towards Glen
just north of Leven.
Yeah.
Just north of Leven, between Leven and, well, on the way to St Andrews, really.
North of Edinburgh. So if you can get towards Edinburgh, you'll see it. So, yeah, if anyone's around that area at the moment, can give us an update. It's looking like it might be hooking.
Just looking at the super radar.
Yeah, I'm having a look on my crap app.
Ooh. Do you want me to bring the premium up? Let me just
go ahead.
Just got to log back in again. I've just come out of the tab.
Fans premium.
Extra V8. There we go. Let's bring that up. Okay. Present. Share screen. Net weather. There we go. There we go. You see there's a really nice line. In fact, there's a double line there.
I'm just wondering what it's going to be like because it crosses over the Pennines, because it's gone really, really quiet here in the northeast at the moment.
I think it failed to hook. See, that's there is the hook, and that's a quarter of an hour ago, and it just flattens out. But that's very, very heavy rain. Just on Leven's roundabout here, I think.
Yeah,
St Andrews is under this lump here. There's Leven.
Rothes and Leven and Kirkcaldy and around that way.
Yes, there's Kirkcaldy. There's Leven. St Andrews is under there somewhere.
It's showing some
very heavy rain there.
Yeah.
Just follow that band down. It's not that heavy, but it's persistent.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to cause problems. There's the artifact from the radar station.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's just because we've had so much wet weather over this winter. The rivers didn't get back to normal, certainly around here in Wales. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow morning there was a load of flood warnings issued.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have a look on that now.
Yeah. Just one thing, just an update from the travel. Let me just share the tab here. Latest news is there's actually a tree now blocking the railway between Wolverhampton and Stafford. So railway line blocked due to a fallen tree. Cross-country trains have said the obstruction is located between Wolverhampton and Stafford, the company said on X. So definitely reason why now there's no trains running further than Wolverhampton. And I think that line will now be closed for the rest of the night. So I don't see any trains going north of Wolverhampton.
On the flooding situation, there's currently 23 flood warnings and 96 flood alerts.
Do you want to bring that up on the screen?
Yep. I'm just going to see where the flooding is, if it's river-based. Yes. So there is some. If I just go back to StreamYard, go there. Oops. And we'll go there.
And you're on the screen.
Green. Brilliant. So I'm just going to zoom in. So as you can see where Cumbria currently there under an alert. major incident alert. As you can see there's some flood warnings. There's no severe flood warnings as of yet, but I would imagine, like Liz was just saying, this area down here tomorrow will get some possible flood alerts, maybe flood warnings on Tuesday.
Certainly expect the Severn maybe. And the Trent and
there's some in the east. Yeah. So you're looking probably the Eden, places like that are getting the rain at the moment. What's this one? That's the Whittle or Widdale Beck in Upset.
The Whittle Beck's a bit smaller.
Yeah, this is one. Appleby home, and thinking that's an Appleby. The Eden. Yeah, so the River Eden, Armthwaite, Castle and Brockleworth, and then going into Carlisle, the River Eden. And the River Eden. So yeah, the River Eden's. Yeah, so I would imagine there's one up here. What's this one? The North Tyne at Kielder. So that'll start funneling down in towards Hexham tomorrow, along with the South Tyne, which goes along here. I was riding alongside the North Tyne, the South Tyne yesterday, which is basically where the A69 is here. Goes off there, and then you've got the Tees and the Weir, which all roughly start in the same area. And then it's going to be like the rivers across Northumberland as well that may respond. But I would imagine it mostly be the ones into the west that are going to respond tomorrow. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think the ones down into the Welsh borders as well, all the runoff from the Brecons. Sorry, they're not called the Brecons anymore, but I can never remember what they're called. And then off the Snowdonia. So there's a few starting already around Welshpool and Chester, but all of those are going to respond to everything because they're still high. That will be the Severn, I would imagine, that one. Oh, the Lug.
There's a Vernley,
yeah.
So yeah. So
it's all the usual places. All the locals know where the roads are going to flood, and yeah.
As you can see here, there's quite a few flood alerts across Yorkshire at the moment, and into Lancashire and up into the Dales, around the lakes.
But of course, you've got all the melt snow as well.
To be fair, there isn't a lot of snow up in the Pennines. I was up there yesterday, up around this area here, and there's no snow whatsoever.
Right.
There's more ice, So I was quite surprised, and the rivers were quite low as well.
That surprised me because I was up in Lancashire yesterday, and there was still snow lying just about.
Yeah. So the Coquette, that goes into Amble, so that will come out. So it'll come out up here will the Coquette, which is this one here.
What potato croquette?
Through, I think it goes through Rothbury. Yeah. So it goes through Rothbury and then into Amble, does the Coquette, and then you've got the Blythe, you've got the Wansbeck, got loads of little rivers that come out just above the Tyne, which is there. Then you've got they've got the North Tyne, South Tyne, the Weir, the Tees. Tees starts up here, would you believe, and then comes out all the way down here. Anyway, there's the Weir there, I think. That's the Tees. Duh. The Eden. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on.
The other thing is we've got then Monday, tomorrow is heavy showers, and then Tuesday we've got another low pressure coming in, so they're not going to have a chance to subside after Isha.
No, as you can
Paul,
see,
someone's asking about the River Wine Chepstow, mate.
Yeah, I've just
let's go down.
I don't think it's under alert at the moment,
guys. So Where did you say it was in Chepstow?
Yeah, River Wine,
River Wye.
Chepstow, someone's asking.
It
That
may
might
well feed
run, and it's
down.
not showing up from there. So it might
I've just replied,
feed
potential
up.
for the usual flooding in the area after sustained heavy rain.
Yeah, because you're looking, it'll be on the Welsh one, I would imagine, because Chepstow's just on the border.
Yeah, but
I would
that's quite a
imagine.
steep valley down there.
Yes, so as you can see there, it comes down. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how these pan out during the night and into tomorrow morning. Who wants to take the tomorrow into Tuesday?
One thing I was just going to say now, this rain's actually just arrived here now.
Yeah, I'm just going to knock that off. Hang on. There we go.
We're to bring the radar back up.
Oh, hello. It's me again.
Yeah, it's
I can do if you wanted to. Just one thing before we carry on. Obviously, it's not just the UK. Ireland have been battered as well. Reports from Ireland is no flights coming out of Dublin. Dublin Airport said the storm was posing a significant challenge to air travel. As of 7 p.m., 114 flights have been cancelled with 36 flights diverted. And also a clock tower fell to the ground in Io Square in Galway.
Ooh. Hope nobody was underneath it.
That's giving me vibes of Hot Fuzz. If you remember.
Yes.
So it's actually crashed off a bar onto a path below. So any people that have been to the bar saying they need to be back for a certain time, they've got an excuse now because the clocks fell off. Yep.
It's all for the greater good, though. Sorry, guys.
And also, a report from Sky News is 170,000 homes and businesses now are without power at this stage.
Crikey.
I'm going to try to bring the wind.
You're on the screen.
Yeah, I was just trying to find where the. That's what I wanted. There we go. So where are we? That's Monday. So we're kind of round about here now.
Yeah.
So Ireland hasn't seen the last of it by the looks of it.
No, they'll get that next stinger, that mid-level
blast. You see there's this still coming through here.
That pinch.
Yeah.
That
you see the direction of the anticyclone there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where will that go, though? Well, I was going to say, would that then continue over into England or going to Scotland?
Let me bring that back up again. So this is...
You're back on screen.
Yep, 9 o'clock. Midnight. 3 a.m. So the main of it is crossing sort of
Central Belt.
Yeah.
Northern England into Scotland. The eye, so to speak, is going right across the centre of Scotland. But if you just bring it to there, look, 6 a.m. Look at the gusts across the central southern England. Manchester down to London, Portsmouth way. There's a triangle in there, and again, Ireland. And that's 6 a.m. So we're not out of the woods by daybreak.
No.
9.
You can see them dips in the isobars as well, where it's hitting the Pennines.
And this is mean wind as well. This isn't gusts, max gusts. No. This is sustained. So what we're talking about, 30 mile an hour there in the purple.
So
so 9 a.m. we're still looking at 30 mile an hour winds sustained across central southern Britain, down into London again. Look, so It's even tomorrow is going to be a bit blustery.
Mm.
And then bringing it on to, there's the next one.
Which could be Storm Jocelyn if the Met Office or Met Aaron decide to name it. It's another overnight one. Mm.
It skims, the centre actually skims right across the northwest Irish coast, Sligo, and then skims northern Scotland. So it's not going to be as strong as Isha, but it's certainly one to look at, especially if Isha's produced any structural damage. Any loose tiles that have been loosened by Isha will be taken out by this one. Tuesdays, I think, because it's stronger. I mean, look how tight the isobars are. It's tight enough that anything that's been damaged is going to get totaled with another blast coming through evening, sort of late afternoon, the evening, and overnight again.
Be a rush hour one, won't it? Luckily today it's not as busy, but Tuesday.
Tuesday morning's going to be Monday morning's going to be interesting. Tomorrow rush hour, everybody trying to get to work on a Monday morning. I think there's going to be a lot of trains out. I think there's going to be a lot of flights because there's going to be debris all over the place that needs tidying up. Power lines potentially down, and that's going to need to be sorted. Somebody's just asked what's Hereford. Probably Hereford's probably going to be a little bit sheltered because Hereford's kind of a little bit more in a dip, so you might get the worst of the gusts going over you.
Round about now the squall's just kind of passing that direction. It's just past a little bit more behind it, but
you probably had the worst of the rain in terms of the big band coming through. But if you haven't had huge wind gusts yet, you probably won't get them. So you've probably seen the worst.
There's some really deep red echoes showing just to the west of Wales on the radar. I don't know if it's just artifacts or what, but there's a nice big gust going across, or nice big blob just going to the north of Sheffield. As it crosses over the peaks.
Bring the radar
just
back
towards Bradford as well. So like over Halifax. Just heading over towards like Queensbury, to the north of Halifax, Eben Bridge kind of way. Just having a look at the blobs. So that blob there is probably heading the one. So that one there is heading just north of Sheffield.
Yeah. There's Sheffield.
Yeah,
let's follow the line down.
Yeah, I was saying there they are.
Nice. It's just updating. Another lump there, but Bromsgrove. Nice line there.
To the west, I was looking at.
I don't know if they're artifacts because if I zoom out, they're kind of in the. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, that's an awkward one because those probably are artifacts. I don't know about those. I think they're a bit discreet. Keep an eye on those because if they've got potential rotation on those.
Just because of the basic question, maybe I missed it. How long till it passes? It's going to be an all-night job, possibly. The rain will pass, and then the wind behind it. But yeah. Anyway,
the amber warnings till. Let me just double check that before I say it again. Let me have a look. But the amber warnings for wind. 6 a.m. So yeah,
it's an all-night job.
I
can hear the wind just starting to pick up now up here. Just hear it in the distance. But yeah, that one in Sheffield looks like it might have a bit of rotation on it. I'm not sure. I'm just having a look at it on the basic radar anyway. It might have updated now. You on? No, it's kind of fizzled out, hasn't it? As it's crossed over the thing. Them ones that are crossing over now over towards Bradford and Leeds, further north. Oh, they're ones to watch.
Yeah, those are the ones over Wales. That is very interesting.
Towards Swansea and like you were on about the Brecon beacons. Sorry, guys, this is literally like an American thing, you know what I mean? It's like bang straight at it. If we see something, we're picking up on it because it's very dynamic at the moment.
That's quite interesting as well. On the front edge.
Hello, Mike. Oh, no, that person is one best mate from around here.
Good stuff.
Yeah. There's a few little bits and pieces to keep an eye out on.
Yeah. So, yeah, that
I don't think there's...
The one further to the north of Sheffield was the one I'm looking at the moment as it's crossing over towards Bradford and Leeds. Yeah. I don't know if that's becoming a bit organised as it drags in.
I don't think it's intense enough, to be honest.
No, it was showing it, but yeah, it's just passed to the north of
that one.
They've got hooks on them as well.
Be interesting what the next update is coming like.
Hang on,
and that one.
Windy. That's in
down by Swindon. I don't...
Right. Just gonna have a look on Windy at the radar. Well, at least the thing anyway. See if there's anything showing. No. Swindon.
I've already got Windy up on the screen there, which I don't understand. But
let me come out. And there you go.
No, you're right. You're right.
I've come out. You're up.
So yeah, that front you can see is becoming a bit more defined as well.
Yeah.
And tightening up.
Standing out, yeah. It's definitely worth watching over do you know what? I think it's going to be south of Birmingham that's going to get anything. I mean, look at that down over the south coast. Just off the south coast. That's going to be ripping. That's going to be ripping through the channel, isn't it?
Oof.
And usually, Needles usually get bear the brunt of any strong winds that we normally get.
I mean, it's literally going to be in a line anywhere from probably North Yorkshire down the A1 kind of, and then across towards Birmingham, and anywhere south of that's going to get
I mean, if you look at that's Birmingham south down at the moment. That line from Birmingham south is potential for propagating.
Yeah, it's just
as it comes across.
You know, we've just started getting the wind here in the northeast. So, I was saying to the guys earlier as well. Speaking of airports, LBA, Leeds Bradford's, I think, diverting. Newcastle's got some cancellations. Manchester's taking the brunt of the things. I haven't had a look on. Actually, I'll have a look on Flight Radar on my phone.
They're all going around British Isles at the moment.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Probably all circling.
There's the wind.
Yeah, that looks windy.
Newcastle's got one going down to Belfast at the moment. Manchester. Let's have a look at Manchester. Let's have a look at LBA. Yeah, there's one coming in from Geneva, then Dublin one's cancelled, which says no, LBA seems to be still open. I'm surprised with that. Yeah. So yeah, says hi all. I'm in Newbridge near Blackwood in Gwent, and keeping an eye on those red blobs heading across South Wales. Yep, just keeping an eye on them.
It wasn't paintball earlier. There we go.
I'd say they're very, very discreet, these things. Actually, I'm looking at it now, and I reckon it's the tops of the hills, personally. Just like rocking and rolling on the radar. It looks like them red blobs at the tops of the hills.
Now until. So I've gone back in time there.
Might be a bit of organisation just to the west of Manchester as well. Around Bolton. It's kind of, that band's kind of, like we were just saying, it's kind of clumping together now.
It's ebbing and flowing, isn't it? It's one of those that we're gonna have to keep a really close eye on as it develops and goes through. The red blobs over Wales seem to have dissipated in the last update, but the one down by Swindon seems to have actually got its act together and is properly.
There's a lot on the south coast as well.
Yeah, let me.
Coming inland. If you look at the one near Crawley, there's kind of a bit of a loop on that one. I don't know.
Let me just share that. Yeah. Am I up?
Michael's on windy at the moment.
There we go.
So that line's
so
kind
of
ones.
The ones in Wales seem to have just.
I think they're tops of the hills personally. I was like rocking and rolling on the radar from earlier.
That one's still intensifying. That's got a bit of a whirl on it.
Yeah. If you smooth the image, that might give you a better.
I don't like smoothing the image because you lose.
It does help when you zoom in, though. I've always found it, but that's just me.
It's not done anything.
It's not having it. It's like no, it's because it's ahead. But
too many people looking at it.
It says no.
There is definitely something happening ahead of that front.
Yeah, that line there ahead of the front is quite interesting. It's starting to clump and consolidate and form little discrete cells, which is where you get spin ups. But yeah, those have dissipated a little bit. They may have been start of a bit of an artifact.
Is it Llandudno, Colwyn Bay area there?
Yeah. But I think that's I wouldn't be too worried about. That's just heavy rain. It's when it starts getting the red in it rather than the rosy red. It's that colour on that square is the clarity colour is the that's one to keep an eye on. But it'll probably pass the next update. But yeah, it's one of those like you get in the US, the big squall fronts where you get spin ups on the front of the line as it comes through the different air masses. So because we've got the warmer air coming through, and it seems to have toppled a little bit. There's still the bow on it, but that has toppled. It's moving more kind of that direction now.
Yeah, which is why it was shown on the mid-level jet forecast as well, weren't it? Showing it kind of
whereas before it was coming this way.
Yeah.
So
one thing's just caught my eye. It's not in the UK, but look at that coming in towards. Is it towards Amsterdam?
Mm-hmm.
That's the edge of the radar loop. So there's probably a big clump of wet. I don't think it's a storm or anything. It's just a big clump of rain, and that it looks like a bow echo. because it's on the edge of the radar scan.
Yeah, he's probably the warm front from earlier. When that
Yeah,
went
I
through.
don't think that's a true edge. I think that's a radar edge there because it's almost a straight line there. Look, it's a radar cut off, I think.
Hi, Rachel.
So very
Sorry
dynamic.
if I'm making anybody seasick by
No.
zooming in. Whoa! Yeah.
Everyone start putting sick emojis in the comments. So yeah,
I've got a few.
It's very squally over northern Scotland as well. Sorry.
Go on,
That's
Michael,
right. I was just going to say, get my teeth in. Just a few updates from the BBC News just in the last few moments. An update on what's happened so far. So if I'll share that. So latest at the minute, as of 9 p.m, Storm Isha hit across the UK. We know that. Winds reaching 90 miles per hour were recorded in isolated areas of Wales and Scotland. Electric companies have reported cuts to thousands of homes across the country, including 5,000 in the northwest of England, 2,000 in Wales, and several hundred in Cornwall. ScotRail have cancelled all of its services at 7 p.m. and said they will not resume until rush hour on Monday, or after rush hour on Monday.
After rush hour.
Rail operators cancelled services and National Rail imposed a 50 mile per hour limit, and most are still running. That the 50 mile per hour limit, that is. In London, the last Avanti West Coast services left at 6:15 this evening and only went as far as Wolverhampton. Belfast Airport have cancelled all flights to Britain shortly before the Amber Alert came into force at 6 p.m. Other airports in the north cancelled flights and many services were delayed. Cumbria said they're on standby for major incidents and potential for damage, disruption and flooding. And airports in the southeast of England were less severely affected, with Virgin Atlantic saying had not yet cancelled any services from Heathrow, but landing conditions have been difficult. And unfortunately, one person has been injured by falling debris in Belfast. So that's the latest from the BBC News. Just double check and see if there's any updates.
There's a lot of ferries cancelled, obviously, as well. The Isle of Man ferries not going.
You loved the Isle of Man tonight, didn't you?
I know. I'm fixated on the Isle of Man. I'm like, Eye of the Storm. Rosslare to Dunleary ferry is not working, and there's a lot of ferry disruption.
To Dublin, probably the one from Fishguard to thingy as well, to Dublin and Rosslare.
Yeah, that's what I said. Rosslare to Dunleary.
Yeah. I'm in another world here, man. I'm just like...
the current XC weather at the moment, showing gust of wind of 86 miles per hour at Sligo Airport. That'll be interesting landing there tonight.
Yeah, all Dover Calais delays on Dover Calais because of poor weather. All sailings Isle of Man between Douglas and Heysham cancelled. All Stena Line, Fishguard and Rosslare is due to resume on the 24th of January.
Bloody hell. Unless they've got issues themselves.
Due to operational reasons, there is no boat available to run on this route. So, yeah.
Must be a ship down or something like that.
Irish ferries, no alerts at this time.
There's a gust of 72 miles an hour on Anglesey.
Well, it's, like I said, I've had over 60 here.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. So, yeah, 86 mile an hour in that clump area where we were looking earlier. 83 in the north west of Scotland. I'm Stanlock, talking out loud here. Yeah, go on. You was doing your thing, weren't you, Michael? Sorry.
No, you're all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, saying 86 mile an hour in Sligo.
Obviously, a lot of the Scottish ferries, the local Scottish ferries, are cancelled as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
also, to add as well, obviously, we've lost the cold air, and as you can see on this temperature map, many places lost all the blues that we've had. The current maximum temperatures is 14 degrees in Carlisle and Oak Park in Carlow.
I just noticed
many
that
places are in double figures.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, Carlisle 13.6, Belfast 13, London 13, Edinburgh Airport 13, Prestwick Airport 13. That's on net weather. I'm just having a look. Max gusts.
And the pressure chart, we've got the lowest pressure at the minute is 955, just off the northwest of Scotland there.
That's low. That's got to be pushing records. I don't know what the low pressure record is, but that's...
I'm on Toro, so I'll have a look. See, I have all the records down there. Extremes.
925.6. And that was in 1884.
Oh, just quite a few days ago, a few weeks ago then.
Yeah,
just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, 953.3 was Storm Kieran for England and Wales. So that was Kieran. When was Kieran? November last year. So that was 959.7 was the previous record. Kieran went down to 955. So 955 is the reading to beat. 953, sorry, is the low pressure, and that was off Plymouth in November.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the record for England and Wales. Scotland is a lot lower. So yeah.
I think they're kind of used to those low pressures going towards the northwest, aren't they?
Yeah, well, a lot of them kind of sweep off either from Iceland or right across the Atlantic and hits West Coast head on, don't they? So, but yeah.
Just bring up net weather, see what they've got the latest. Oh, the show's up. There we go.
Themselves are organising across the south as well. Have a look at that first, anyway.
So yeah, it's currently mild temperatures. To mention 13.6 degrees currently at Carlisle, which is probably minus 13.6 just a couple of nights ago. So it's just a huge temperature swing for the last few days.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the maximum wind gusts, the latest maximum wind gusts. So currently 86 miles per hour. Is it? We pronounce that Cairnwell?
Cairnwell, I think it is. I've got it on my tab as well. Yeah, Cairnwell.
Yeah. Let's have a look for today's at the minute. This is from netweather.tv. And we've had gusts so far. We've had 110 miles an hour at Ballochnabar. 110. Cape of Curragh has seen 90 miles per hour early this afternoon.
Aberdaron in Wales, 78.
Yeah.
Loftus, which is on the east coast, I believe, 76. Valley, which is Anglesey, 72.
Yeah.
Isle of Man, Lizzie's favourite place to go, 70 mile an hour.
Never heard of it.
You'll be moving there. You'll be like centre of the earth.
We get reports from the Isle of Man. It's now just off the shore of Cumbria. 2 miles off the shore of Cumbria now. The Isle of Man. It's been moved by the wind.
It's about to bump into Liverpool.
It's just sort of like bumping into the Eden Bay or whatever, into the Solway Firth.
Reports from the Isle of Man, they've got anchors ready to launch themselves off the coast of Cumbria.
Well, we've got 110 at Ballochnabar, which is the west coast of Scotland, up near Appledore, is it?
I have absolutely no idea, if I'm honest.
No idea.
Yeah, the Bialystok Bar is like it's my favourite road in the UK. And it's west coast of Scotland up by the Aran Isles, north of Skye. So yeah, 110 mile an hour at 7 o'clock this evening. 90 mile an hour, Capel Curig.
Lowest air pressure.
There's your minimum low pressure, 954.
In Benbecula.
That's 1 millibar over
1 millibar.
UK record.
Come on, just give us one more millibar.
Opposite scale. Obviously, it's going to be towards down the southeast. Jersey, no surprise there.
Yeah, there's a few little discreet ones forming ahead of that front, but it's becoming more organised as it's crossing.
Yeah, but there's nothing hugely concerning anymore. There's not any like organised mini cells ahead anymore. They've kind of petered out a little bit.
I was going to say there's a bit of a thing on the south coast of Wales. I don't know if it's an artifact, if it's just the radar.
I think that's a radar artifact. I've seen those before in the Severn estuary because it's right by the radar.
Yeah, it's not that. It's like all along the south coast of Wales and then up the west coast. So like, you know,
it's a radar artifact because of the mountains. The radar bounces. There's probably a big clump of rain in the middle of that artifact, but the radar doesn't. It's above the radar.
Cross over the Irish Sea, and there's another
squall
starting.
Another line
starting to form.
That'll be the shortwave trough at the back.
It will. I'm just trying to look like what's behind it as well.
So, yeah, it's going to be heavy showers, I think.
There's potential storm Jocelyn. I say potential. I like to use the word potential. I'm like the Americans. Potential storm. Here's potential storm Jocelyn.
So look beyond these two. Well, the next potential. It's going to extend relatively mild, actually, with the southwesterlies. High pressure towards the south.
As the Met Office say, Atlantic in charge. Definite Atlantic flow.
Yep.
And let's bring that back and have a look at the 850, so you can see like the air mass. So it's goodbye blues and it's hello yellows and oranges really for the seeable.
Despite the polar vortex.
Yeah.
So a bit of a cooler interlude there towards the weekend. That'll probably bring a lot of showers, maybe, with returning maritime polar air.
A little bit, yeah. Oh yes, because there's a bit coming off Iceland, isn't there? Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see where that goes because that's a long way out still. So. If there isn't, because that green is obviously a when you get a bit detached from the jet stream, I would imagine that green bit in front of the polar air mass is one of those bits that's become detached from the jet stream.
You can tell it's like really sharp.
Yeah, if that doesn't come off and that gets flattened, if that vortex gets some strength on it, the air mass gets some strength to it. We're going to get some cold weather, but yeah, long range isn't showing it at the moment, but who knows? It's a long way out.
It is.
I mean, we're into February there.
If you see what's to the east of us,
yeah,
that low pressure coming down towards Norway into Central Europe.
Well, that could cause a block, which means that we could end up with a very, very warm February. stupidly warm February because we'll be in an Azores block.
Yeah, it's coming from the mid latitudes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming from South Africa.
I mean,
And
look at
it's
the
plus 10.
dark oranges coming up there. Look, if you run it on, so we're sandwiched, there's that dark orange coming up. So that could be a stupidly warm February.
Mid-teens, late teens, top teens, whatever. Maybe even
Oh, definitely. It could be 14, 15 easily.
So let's have a quick flick through the maximum temperatures while we're talking about it. So obviously now, because we're under ridiculously mild air right now, could wake up to temperatures around about 10, 11, 12 degrees tomorrow. Again, this like perhaps an 8-degree difference compared to, was it Thursday morning, where some places got down to double digits?
Yeah. Bear in mind there is a bit of wind chill on that.
Yeah.
So it won't feel like double digits necessarily.
Yeah, again, looks like another Wednesday night and perhaps another warm night. To think sometimes in the summertime we'll see temperatures perhaps around about that same temperature of 13, 14 degrees. So let's move that on. So there's that bit of coldish spell coming through on Friday. So I reckon could see plenty of showers actually. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder there. Let's run that through. Let's have a look at this milder air coming up towards February. So already by the time we get to Monday the 29th, we've got temperatures around about 12, 13 degrees. Tuesday, again, about 13, maybe 14 degrees. Cooler air trying to move in around that air of high pressure. And again, I think it's just towards the end of this, back end of this run, see the milder air coming back up from the south. So those are the 12s and 13s coming back up. 11s and 12s. Unless
there's potential for potential for a phone effect there as well.
Oh, yes. Obviously, we're looking right at the back end of the charts there. So these milder airs, you probably start seeing first signs of the daffodils coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Snowdrops out, and the little wild daffodils.
I'm just noticing now we've actually gone for nearly an hour and a half, so we'll just have a quick look at the strat. Do mention about the strat as well, see what's going on with that.
Whoa, that was a big gust. Unfortunately, I can't see my anemometer meter from here, so. But that was a big gust.
Or your fence. I think it's ended up somewhere in central Birmingham.
I was more worried about it blowing my windows in.
He's probably just landed in the middle of Merry Hill or something.
Merry Hill.
Merry Hill.
Merry Hill, not Merry Hill.
I know. Like Meadow
So
Hill.
there's a bit of warming taking place there towards the Russian side there. But the PV this year has been quite weak, really, throughout the whole of this winter.
I think you named it the other day, feeble. Has been quite feeble.
I don't think the Americans would think so.
I was saying nothing. I was going to say something then, but I resisted.
Actually, it's maybe showing a bit of signs of another major warming there. It's just going to the dark oranges there, so that's something to keep an eye on maybe for the start of February.
But then that'd propagating toward mid to late February then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see if the breakfast run is showing the same thing. The pub run's due down probably in the next couple of hours or so. Definitely won't be live for that.
Rachel saying, been some years since I've been to Merry Hill. That's for me as well.
Yeah. Yes, I did mean Applecross. Thank you to whoever that was that put Applecross in there.
Yeah.
I always think Appledore.
Appledore.
Yeah, I always think Appledore, which is the fictional place from some book. possibly Terry Pratchett. But yes, I did mean Applecross to be out and about.
Appledore might even be in the Lake District. Sounds like somewhere it would be.
I think it's fictional, but I always think Appledore instead of Applecross. But yeah, that's where the Bealkna Bar is.
Just have an update on the radar.
Devon, actually. I've just had a look. Couldn't help myself.
Sorry?
Appledore, it's in Torridge, on the River Torridge.
Where's that?
Devon.
Oh, right.
Out there, Devon. Here. Anyway,
So what's just caught my eye is this coming up towards southwest of Wales.
That's what I was just saying to Liz a minute ago. That it looked like a radar thing, but I think it could be the. Like, I was on about that a minute ago. I thought it was just the contour of the radar, picking it up on the thing, but no.
It might be the Severn Estuary.
Yes.
Funneling.
Getting pushed up.
Yeah, it's funneling up the Severn Estuary.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Hereford might be in the firing line for that.
Yep. I say Midlands are just.
Oh no, it's not the Severn Estuary. It's not quite far enough east for the Severn Estuary.
No, it's probably around is it the Vernway or whatever it's called? Swansea.
Now you're testing me geography. Yeah,
I'm testing my own geography, never mind.
Yeah, for a meteorologist, my geography is useless. I just follow the storms wherever they go and go, I have no idea where I am, but look at the pretty clouds.
Yeah. Oh, look at the clouds. Lovely, lovely clouds.
Another report from the BBC News. Sellafield nuclear site has been suspended due to severe wind warnings.
Say that again, sorry, Michael.
Sellafield is currently used to store UK's plutonium stockpile and high-level radioactive waste, as well as other hazard materials.
Where's that? Oh, that's sea scale.
Sellafield.
Wind scale, as it used to be called.
The suspension allows the site in sea scale Cumbria to be shut down to prepare for the expected worsening weather. Operations are expected to resume tomorrow, and workers have been told to attend work as normal. In a staff update, the government have said there were currently no safety or security issues associated with the issue. We'll have more on that in the coming hours, the BBC have said. I'll put it on the screen, actually, so you can see.
Sellafield.
Never been to Sellafield, but I've been to Summerfield when they were around back in the day. Just can't see if there's anything update from Sky News. There isn't at the moment. It's just showing the chaotic scenes at Dublin Airport from about 25 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's
wonder what the record for the highest number of named storms in a season is.
I know they were on about it today. They said it's the first time it's been to I for quite a while.
Just
That's what I was thinking.
I think it's gone to P before now in a full season. I think it's got quite low, but it hasn't recycled. Like the Americans do.
We're still really early in the season.
I know.
Realistically, and we've already had 9.
Yeah.
Well, these names carry on to the end of August.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wonder what the highest number of named storms in a season is. Let me quickly Google it.
Anyway, Rachel, yeah, Merry Hill. It's a dump.
Merry Hell. Get it right.
Yes. As I say, it's probably about 5 years since I was there.
We reached the letter K in 2016.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was 2016.
First time the letter I reached was 2016 with Imogen. Furthest the storm season has reached is K with Storm Kate in 2016. So we're close.
2 more away.
Well, if we get if the next one Jocelyn is named, we're only 1 off. And to be honest, March could be stormy. But then we have only been naming since 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. Considering it took to August last year for us to name the first name of the storm, just shows you how much how volatile this year's been. Well, this
Well, it's
season's
an
been.
El Nino, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you'd expect it in an El Nino season.
I'll say, 'cause
And I
we've
think
had
we reach solar maximum next year as well, which will have an effect.
it will definitely cause an effect. But yeah, we've had a triple dip La Nina, haven't we? So we're overdue a really, really active Atlantic season, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder what spring and summer will be like, though, because they've been a bit, to use Michael's word for the polar vortex, feeble in terms of storms. 'Cause we haven't really had that many, have we?
No, I think because Skywarn, we run a points system for storm chasing, and I think this last season was the lowest I'd scored. So 2023 was the lowest I've scored for quite a long time.
To be fair,
And you know me.
Yeah, you was out for
Yeah.
the best part of the summer. You were.
I tried.
Chasing. You did try. To be fair, I got the one last season, so I got the tempo.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to boast on that one. I'm sure the Midlands will get something this year. It seems to be down there at the moment with the jet and stuff. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what spring and summer will be like. If it's going to be like it is now, with these low pressures and bit of blocking and stuff like that.
Yeah, if we get a nice high pressure sitting there for a while, certainly sort of back end of April into May, we want a really nice high warming the land up. And then we want a big low pressure storm to come through off the Atlantic. And we'll have some great storms.
Yeah, just need that high pressure there, like it was in lockdown in 2020, where it just sat over the top of us and just radiated and radiated. And then the ground's like a battery, isn't it?
Yes.
And it just stores all that energy, all that potential energy, and it's just...
Yeah, and that's when we had those 2 days of immense storms.
Thunderstorms, weren't they? I remember them.
Yeah, I think I probably did about 800 miles in those 2 days.
Bloody hell.
Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I certainly...
Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
So I'm just having a look at. I'm just trying to look for some charts at the moment. Just bear with me just for a second.
Yeah. I was going to have a look, see what the boob is saying on my side.
I should just have a quick update on the radar. Yeah, the radar's, it's all dying off, to be honest. Apart from Western Scotland, the Highlands, Western Highlands, some definite big squally showers. Nothing convective, but it's definite big squally showers up in the valleys and over the Highlands.
Yeah, nearer to that centre.
But yeah, certainly that little bit that I pointed out off the south coast is intensifying.
Yeah. Someone's just asked, how long is this storm lasting? Really, this, I would say, Isha, which is this one, will last into tomorrow, probably into tomorrow afternoon. And then
I was going to say, you probably get some gusty blasts till lunchtime easily.
Yeah, they might just die
Not
off
sustained.
A little bit. Not sustained, no. It's just put my teeth in. The sustained winds will probably be until early hours tomorrow morning. But then there's a potential for another storm on Tuesday as well. But at the moment, that's looking more out to the west, towards Ireland and possibly Western Scotland. But we'll see. This is basically what's come of colder air across Northern America and Canada meeting with the warmer air and getting forced and racing across. It's to spin up low. This is
Very strong jet stream as well.
a very strong jet stream, yeah. And yeah, this is how we'd expect a cold spell to end, to be honest, because it takes a lot to move cold air. It's very dense, like my brain.
I was going to say, like all of us here.
All of us, that's why storm chasers, Anyway,
Yeah,
Look at the pretty clouds.
Look at it.
Is that any good information for you at all that's on the screen right now?
Berkshire. To be honest, it's not quite as clear as the WX charts. Level 10 meters. Yeah. Basically just shows the
ideally if it's either 850 or 500, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's at ground level mostly. So 850 is like as close as you're going to get to the ground, isn't it? Let's have a look.
Yeah, there isn't. Yeah, as I suspected, it's all over the top of the low where it's spinning. There is that little bit, the little tail that potential, if it really got going, would be the Sting jet. But yeah, I think the one on WX charts is easier to see and understand, to be honest.
Yeah. North 6th wind shear.
Changing subject completely. Volcanoes in Iceland. Potential for another eruption in the next 2-3 weeks, I reckon.
Same area around Grindvik.
I don't know whether that's released. I think it might be further north on the same line.
Okay.
But then they had a water flood release off the top of one of the glaciers, which has potential for similar eruption to the 2010 Eyjafjallajökull, which would ground aircraft because it's underneath a glacier. That meltwater release has released the pressure on the magma chamber under the glacier, so they're keeping a very close eye on that one. But yeah, there is still a lot of not seismic activity. There's a lot of land movement still around Grindavik. In fact, they're actually putting pylons up at the moment to take the power and the above ground, because it keeps getting sheared because of the movement of the plates. So still potential. Maybe next 2 or 3 weeks for another dike extrusion.
Yeah, just have a look at the radars for America as well. So I've been interested in them, like the Grindavik one, because that was brewing for quite a while. Yes,
they haven't had an eruption anywhere near Grindavik for 800 years, other than there's the three or four fault lines. My brain's switched up. The Skagafos, I think it is. There's 3 or 4 lines across it goes across the Keflavik peninsula, actually. Reykjanes fault line, and we've had now 5 eruptions since 2001 along those lines. But it's the closest one that's got to Grindavik. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people who live in Grindavik were evacuated in 1973 from an island just off the coast that got completely flattened by a dike volcano in 1973. So those people who've moved to Grindavik are now facing exactly the same thing in Grindavik.
Wow.
So yeah, they're wondering whether Grindavik will actually keep going or not as a town, because there's still the threat that there may still be magma extrusions underneath magma tunnels. because there's all the land movement. So, yeah, the plates are pulling apart very rapidly there. I think there's been a 1.5 metre change in ground level under Grindavik, which is a lot in 3 months. Yeah. Sorry. My other geeky side.
I just have a look at the radar across the other side of the Atlantic to see where, what it's doing. And
sorry, somebody asking in the chat if we're getting another storm, what's the name for it? It will be Jocelyn. So we're up to J.
Yeah, we're at I at the moment, which is Isha. Then it'll be Jocelyn. Crikey, I had them up as well.
No, crikey's a C. Kevin, no. Keith, no.
Potato. It will be, so after K will be L. Right, it will be Lillian. No, it'll be Jocelyn, Kathleen, and then Lillian.
And if we get to Lillian, that's the most named storms we've had in a season.
It will, and then it will continue as Minnie, Nicholas, Olga, Pete, or Payette, or whatever.
Pete.
Regina, Stuart, Tamiko, Vincent, and then Walid after that. And then if we go past Walid, then what do we go? How do we start recycling names?
I think they just start again, don't they?
I think they'll use the Greek alphabet.
Yes.
Oh, yes, because that's what they do in America, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to the Greek alphabet. So if we're at Isha now, 1, 2, 3.
The Cape Shear, Liz, obviously, I'm just trying to learn more about it. What is Cape Shear for the boys and girls and myself?
Cape is convective available potential energy. So Cape Shear is the combined lift and shear is wind moving against the prevailing wind. So that's what shear is. So it's basically lift that's moving in a different direction to the main prevailing wind conditions at the time. So
that's
for instance,
really then for Tuesday night.
If you think of it as like when you shear something off, when you slice something off, you're going against it, aren't you? So it's like it says, overtopping or undercutting or whatever.
Yeah, it's just I thought that's like interesting actually. That's
I've really started learning it. Go on, sorry. Yeah,
I was obviously looking at the Cape Shear there for Tuesday.
Yeah,
the problem is if the Cape is low anyway. I mean, I don't know what units that is. If you look at the Cape and LI for the same time, if that's low, it doesn't matter what the shear is because there isn't enough Cape to do anything. So that by itself doesn't really tell us anything because we've usually got some kind of shear running across the UK simply because we're between 5 different weather systems. So by itself, we usually have Cape shear because that's we've got like today, we'll have quite a bit of shear, but not very much Cape and LI at all. But if you think about it, Reed Timmer keeps going on about if you think of Tornado Alley, you've got the prevailing wind coming down usually from the northwest.
Yes.
And then you've got southeasterlies coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. That's what produces the shear. The Cape in that area is because the northwesterlies come up over the mountains.
Yes.
You've then got the very warm southeasterlies that give it a lot of lift. And with the almost 180-degree meeting of winds, they're meeting head on almost, that produces a huge amount of shear. So when you've got a low pressure system coming across the UK, usually from the southwest, we've had cold coming across from the continent, which is kind of pretty much oversimplifying it, north south. So it's where the two air masses meet. But you need all the components together. So looking at one thing and going, oh, there's a load of cape, doesn't mean you're going to get thunderstorms. You've got a load of shear, doesn't mean you're going to get tornadoes. You need so many different things all to come together at once, which is why we tend to get a lot of brief spin-ups in the UK, not huge long track tornadoes like they get in the US.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I think the Cape and LI are still really low on Tuesday. Let me just have a quick look.
Yeah.
Because you need high Cape and LI and the shear. Yeah, it's negligible, to be honest. We're getting a little bit more into Scotland, that we're right in the centre of that storm system coming through. There is a little bit of Cape Li in the middle of but that's the middle of the low pressure. That's spinning by itself anyway. So that's kind of sucking. It's like water going down the plug hole, but going upwards, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cape and Li is negligible at this time of year. Anyway,
just a quick look at El Nino. Look at 3.4 there. What's that? The forecasting for June this year is going back to neutral, maybe back to La Nina.
All right.
So there's your 3.4, which is your central base El Nino. We're currently about 2 degrees above normal, but that is forecast to really drop off in the next few months as we're heading to summer. The 1.2 is the area off the west coast of, is it Peru?
Yeah,
South
South America.
Again, that's already in decline, and it's expected to perhaps go to neutral in the next few months. Some forecasting it to go.
It's quite a spread on that, isn't there?
We've all worked at the same time then.
It's not very
it's my skepticism of the models.
The El Nino's not lasting very long this year. This time, it's lasting what, a year, if that.
Especially with the increased global temperatures as well. It's interesting that El Nino is reducing effect.
There you go. That's why you should see it. Topics. Yeah, showing a bit of a cooling there.
Mm.
Oh yeah, here.
You got that there, and then you've got that cooling coming below it.
The blue, yeah.
So this area here is your about 1.2, and your 3.4 is the central area here. Then you've got your 5.6, which is more or less right about here through towards just off the coast of northeast of Australia.
Yeah.
Pacific Islands.
There we go. So yeah, you can see it pushing back out.
Mm.
I'm going to say you could probably forward the time as well on the valid time. There we go. So,
yeah.
So you can see that becoming more neutral.
Oh, you can see a bit of coolness coming into there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah, I
interesting.
think
Makes it more unstable. Reducing the El Nino and the cooling effect like that, I can see there's going to be a few more hurricanes because it's unstable conditions.
so especially when the waters are just off Africa are quite warm as well.
Yeah, just noticing that there.
Yeah, that'll sustain it. That will. Any thunderstorms that come off Africa.
I think, I'm in agreement with Reed that I think this is going to be a big hurricane season. I think it's going to be a big tornado season, a big hurricane season. It's going to be a big severe storm season, I think, like globally. Typhoons and hurricanes.
When you went to, was it May on there, Michael?
Yeah.
If you go up, that's all that summertime, showing some warmer than average temperatures around us. So that could sustain some lows, or maybe even just indicating high.
Somebody's asked, will El Nino make UK weather more extreme in the future? I think it will swing wildly from one thing to another, like we saw with the really, really high temperatures in the summer over a short period of time and then swinging back to mean low, like lower temperatures than average. I think El Nino is a wild swing between extremes. So it won't be extreme in one direction. It'll be extreme in the sense of we'll swing wildly from extremely hot weather to really wet and windy, and then back again. That's what the global warming, the rise in the mean global temperature causes, because we're in the junction of so many weather systems. If three of those get amped up, the moisture in the atmosphere gets amped up as well. So the low pressure systems will be much bigger rain events.
Yeah, I was just looking at that one there. There was a cooling just off of Newfoundland around that May time. If you go back,
always a bad sign.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let's go back.
It was in May, June, July, so that's summer months.
It's always bad for hurricanes. Yeah, there it is.
So you've got loads of that blue spot there. Ensemble mean, let's have a look. Yeah. So that, I don't know, that would just kill off any hurricanes, possibly, but it wouldn't stop a low coming across, especially if they come up the eastern seaboard, or even up through the Gulf and then back out again.
It kind of increases the circular currents within the Atlantic, though. So they tend to ramp up because it's like the hot water and cold water spinning in the Atlantic. The extremes in temperature makes it spin quicker, so it's a quicker change from one thing to another because the currents are changing. Then it will change the jet stream going across the top of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just looking at. Like there's a bit of warming there, just off around Hudson Bay, possibly, and then there's that cold blob, and then warmer than average across the Atlantic, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I tell you what else is bad news is the warming between Iceland and Scandinavia. That warm patch between Iceland and Norway. That's bad news.
Yeah, that's high. I would say high pressure and southerly winds being dragged up, quite possibly. So yeah, that I was thinking. Does that indicate
storms?
Yeah, coming up from the mid latitudes, are we rather than
Biscay. I'd say Bay Biscay.
That's what I was just looking at, because that red there that Michael was just highlighting goes up towards the Azores. So that would, I would say, That's quite conducive to a Bay of Biscay
Stormy
storm,
May.
and then straight up above us.
I'm
So
going
that's
to say,
dragging warm air up. Sorry, go on, Michael.
no, sorry, I'm going to say, looking at this here, potentially we could have an early start to the hurricane season.
Yeah, that's what it's all pointed to. You've got the cold set up down off South Africa. You've got the warm in the middle, and then you've got the cold. So you've got proper forcing of the air masses there between across the warm, because it's going to try and stay in the warm area. So any low that comes off Africa is going to get super pumped with the warm air off the Atlantic, and then get sped across towards America. But then alternatively, it could turn and head up the coast of Africa, from up through the Bay of Biscay up towards us. So do you realise we've been going nearly 2 hours now?
Yeah, probably wrap it up in the next probably 5 minutes or so, because I've got work in the morning.
I was going to say, there's people falling asleep with boredom here.
Bit of ASMR or whatever it's called.
Let's talk about weather.
Let's
The
talk
high pressure is nowhere to be seen until next week. Low pressure is nearby, giving us windy weather.
Just don't start reading the shipping forecast, otherwise we will all be asleep.
So it sounded more like Septic Peg, if you remember from back in the day. I am Septic Peg. The high pressure will be off Iceland.
Storm Force 10 moves suddenly to Storm Force 11.
People of a certain age will know what we're on about. Brian Conley.
Oh, he's a legend.
Everybody else just thinks we're bonkers.
Yeah.
Him and Bradley Walsh should do a show together, because I think it'll be absolutely hilarious.
I've seen him on Blankety Blank when Brad's on there with the old school comedians. It is hilarious, especially with what's his name? He was on EastEnders. No, I'm Brian Connolly, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't watch EastEnders, but
no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Just like to point out the lovely comment from whoever that is in the chat. I'm loving the show. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Don't encourage us.
Yeah, don't encourage us. We'll just carry on. Me and Liz will stay on then.
Yeah, I talk about volcanoes and the potential for tornadoes next season, and we'll just
keep waffling.
We're just looking forward to the new season.
And then I'll just stick my radio on for marine forecast. And the only problem being a radio hand. It's the only problem being a radio ham. You can just listen. Well, you can't listen to everything, but I live right next to a marina, so I'm all right. I can listen to the Coast Guard. Oh, these people dying.
Yeah, really entertaining. Thanks.
I'll just go get the radio. No, I'm joking. Anyway, yes. I was just looking at that Emily Moore, 75 mile an hour, just above Huddersfield.
Capel 90.
Yeah.
That's Snowdonia.
Yeah, Loftus, which is in the North York Moors, or just off 76, Northern Ireland 76, Mumbles, which is where we're showing that. It's Daniel from Chepstow.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, so Mumbles is not that, well, I wouldn't say not that far, but it's down the coast from Chepstow, towards Swansea, which is where we're seeing that force on the area. The
funneling effect. And then Northwick, Devon as well, which is off, presuming, I'm not sure where that is, but I'm assuming it's right on the tail, the north side of Devon.
Mm-hmm. Is it near Appledore?
Yeah.
Or Dumbledore?
Dumbledore, yeah.
I've got to
say, one last look at the radar.
I was going to say, looking at the current temperatures, the temperatures are still rising. We've currently got 14 degrees at Lakenheath at the moment.
That forcing in South Wales, Liz, have a look at that.
I was going to say, shall we just wrap up with the final look at the
radar.
Final look at the radar.
Yeah, go. Just checking the latest gusts, see what the latest are. Oh,
Let's see the-
101 miles an hour.
There's a
101.
That's quite a nice shortwave trough, that is.
North
Pretty
Wales.
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, North Wales. Aberdaron has had a wind gust of about 89 miles an hour.
Well, Capel was 90, so that's Snowdonia, central North Wales.
Yeah, that was recorded at 3:00 this afternoon.
That's one to look at.
Aberdaron's on the south coast. Is it not?
Yes.
No, so it's in
towards the north coast, actually.
It's
on
on
where they did the Armed Celebrity a few years
on
ago.
the peninsula, the Llyn Peninsula. That's where it is. It's right on the tip of the Llyn Peninsula.
Over there.
Over there a bit. A little bit there. So yeah. I thought that said the Every National Park. It's the Erie or whatever it's called. Snowdonia. Yeah. Aberdaron. Yeah. Elwiffa. I thought it said Every. Every time I look at it, I think Every for some reason. I wouldn't like to go there if it was called that. Probably send me in the wrong direction. That's the one I was looking at, that trough.
Yeah,
wow.
It's a nice shortwave trough, that is. That's one to keep an eye on, that is.
Yep. Really
windy. That
will,
I was going to say that's going to whip up quite a nice squall line.
Oh, it will. Next. So that's the one that was sort of like waving about earlier, weren't it? Ooh.
That's heading straight for me.
Yep.
Because that's me. There.
Is that you, is it? A triangle?
That's me, yes. That's one of my storm viewing spots, and those two are other viewing spots. That's the Long Mynd, and that's Clee. So it's kind of wiggling its way, and then it's heading for Michael.
Right then, I should be asleep. If my
roof when that goes over. There's a lot of wiggly stuff in there, isn't there? In the next hour or so.
I was going to say, have you seen what's coming up the south coast there?
Oh, yeah.
That's Island, I think. There you go.
That bit, yeah. But this could quite develop into quite a nice little feature as well.
Yeah, the gaffer might catch up with that. Let's have a look. Yep. Gordon, if you're watching, that's going to cross the thing. Cross over the
Nothing that special. I think that's just heavy rain and a bit of a gust front, but that one is one hell of a gust front. That one that's currently over.
Bit of wobble on the Lecky front here.
Right, I think we ought to call it a night before people lose the will to live. And,
it's been what? 2 hours and nearly 10 minutes.
Yeah, not like some of these American chasers that live stream on YouTube for 12 hours chasing snow. they are very, very bored over there. They are chasing snow. I have to say there are a few that go out and just rescue people because they've got big trucks with towing capabilities. But yeah, there's been 4 I've seen.
Yeah.
Connor Croft's been out. Brandon Coppett, Reed's certainly been out. Over Buffalo and Tennessee. And
I was going to say, Reed Timmer will just go out for a breath. You know, if the sun comes out, he's very dedicated, to say the least. Oh, look, the sun's out, everyone!
Man after my own heart. If there's a slim chance of anything that's slightly unusual, apart from strong wind. Night, Daniel.
Thanks for watching, Daniel.
I don't like strong winds like this. this scares me. I don't like strong winds because you get flying debris and all sorts of stuff. You can stay out of the way of a tornado and a thunderstorm, but
I would love to be up on the Northumberland Hills right now and parked up in my new spot that I found. No, I wouldn't risk it because there's no light up there. It's pitch black. You just don't know what's coming for you.
No.
So, especially with the
trampoline and wheelie bin. Yeah, calculated risks is my forte, and
not risk it for a biscuit. Not for the views anyway. I haven't got that many views yet. So, Ian says, "Night all. Thanks for the updates from Air."
Night, Ian.
Night.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Normally we make these lives about an hour long, but we've just blown it out of the window tonight, haven't we? Just like the wind.
Just gone with the flow.
Yes. Bit like the Oriston advert, on and on and on and on.
And RS on and on.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think we're going to leave it tonight. So I've got to be up about 5 o'clock in the morning to start work.
Ouch. Yes.
Dude. Right, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. And we shall see you next Sunday. If it warrants a live before then we'll do a live. But we'll keep you updated. Potential another storm for Tuesday as well.
Yep.
So it may get named, or if I think Metera might actually name it. If I'm honest,
I think or Northern. I think Northern Ireland Era might not, but yeah, because it's going to impact Northern Ireland and Scotland. Anyway, yes.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone, and share Weather Fans on Facebook as well. Get that subscriber count up for the summer so we can share our goings on, our shenanigans, and not the ones of an auto variety. If you like that channel, like I do.
Yeah. Smoosh that like and subscribe.
Yeah, we'll bring you secrets of the Weather Fans page rather than secrets of the motorway. Anyway, I'm getting delirious because I'm tired. I need a cup of tea.
Yes.
Take medication and then go to bed.
Yes.
On that note, it's goodbye from myself.
It's good night from him and her.
And it's good night from, I can't see my finger.
It's night from them.
Them too. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we shall see you again soon.
Stay safe, everybody.